Brian, looks like Pedro de la Vega cut his hair. What are your thoughts on the new short look?
Looks good. He's a good-looking young man. They do what they do. They're living life. Pedro's in a good mood. He's working hard at training. That's all I can ask for.
After looking at the tape from Austin, what stood out about how you guys performed?
Well, there's a lot of things, but in general terms, I liked some of the possession sequences we had. The goal was exceptional, but there were other possession sequences where maybe it's not 27 passes, but where we want the players, how they got out of pressure, spaces that we occupy, but different people in those spaces. I thought it was real good. Defensively, a couple things we could clean up, but Austin didn't create a ton. They had some chances, some moments where maybe with a little bit more, discipline on their side, they would have made us pay. But overall, it was a good performance.
Brian, there was a couple of chances that were created by Albert, just putting the ball into space over the top, behind the defense, even when you're possessing the ball. Is that something that you're working on in general?
He's been doing that since he's been here. His connection with Jordan from a deeper position has always been there. I think he's played guys in from back here, but I think you're talking about maybe some when he gets the ball out there a little bit further from goal, some of the crosses. Mm-hmm. He has it in his tool bag, and, look, Danny Masowski has done really well. Not just the goal he scored with his feet, but he had a couple half chances, being good in the air inside the box. And, Albert's good enough to recognize that.
That's a good problem to have, but now that Jordan's going to be coming in with some minutes, how do you handle that specifically?
Same way I'm handling, Kalani and Alex and Yaimar, Kim Keehee and Jackson and Ryan Kent and Paul and Pedro and Jesus and Jordan and Danny. The list goes on.
Speaking of Yaimar and Kim, it looked like Yaimar was a partial participant today in training.
He's probably still 2 weeks away. I'm going to get an update after he gets through some of these partial trainings. But, again, the calf muscle, especially a big, powerful guy like him, I want to be careful. But they're getting closer. Maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Maybe it's 2 weeks. I'd be hopeful for closer to 2 weeks, but we'll see.
Any update on Stuart Hawkins? What he's doing?
He's still out. He's 3-4 weeks out.
How do you build up for this performance? You talked about all the good things. It seemed like at time maybe there were some transition moments where the pass could have been a little bit quicker or cleaner. Yes. So how do you build up that for the upcoming game?
Well, we messaged it. Somebody's got to let Maz in. Hey, let Maz in. Do I have to do everybody's job here? What I would say is against a team like Columbus, who really values the ball, we can't afford to be sloppy or lazy or ineffective with our passing, because when they get it, they're keeping it for a minute or two. And you don't want to chase the ball all game. So we'll have to do a little bit better job there. But at the same time, I think we're turning into a pretty good possession team too. And if we can get past their initial counter press, we have to make them suffer a little bit too.
Ryan, in terms of you being a possession team, are you looking to move the ball from right to left? Because I noticed in the first 10 minutes you said something.
Well, we're always trying to change the point of attack, but look, with our group, I'm not so sure we're a classic possession team, because I think we got some high motor guys. We're also good in transition with Jordan and Moose and Paul and other guys. But yeah, moving a team side to side is always one of the things. Playing through the middle first and then going wide. There's a lot of things that we try and accomplish. Each game just manifests itself a little differently.
Is that what you meant in terms of decisions?
Yeah.
Organically.
It's always on them. Yeah. You give them the outline, but on the field they have to, make those decisions.
Was this Jesus' first most complete game? Would you say?
Statistically
Statistically and eye test wise.
Eye test, yeah, it's a good goal. but he missed a chance earlier that he maybe, he's a little unselfish there. He was trying to play the ball back in the middle, but I think he could have done the same thing, make the goalkeeper make a save. And there was a defending moment where he lets guys go inside. So, it's still a work in progress, but it was a very good performance. Something that, fans are going to say, hey, goal and assist, we're finally getting, what we got when we made the deal. But I always say that Jesus brings a little bit more to the table. I like the way he defends, his work rate, you can't question that. So, I see it a little differently maybe than fans and just guys that worry about goals and assists, but he had a good game.
Danny Musowski play inside the box.
Well, another guy that, might have been off the radar earlier on, but 7 goals this year, all comps. His hold-up play, the goal he took, it's all good. All good for me. Defensively, you talk about defending, that the goal that we scored in the second half, Danny Musowski drops back and defends the pivot like we asked him to do. And then we win the ball, we get a free kick, okay, then the rest is history, 27 passes. But his work defensively is what won us the ball in the first place.
And he had a near goal as well early where he just couldn't get his hips around.
Yeah, long throw.
Yeah.
We got a long throw. We got scored upon from a long throw against Atletico.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking hints.
Brian, you always have been the top in terms of corner kicks. I wouldn't say frustration, but is there a way to try to take advantage?
Well, we're talking about some things. I mean, we're looking at different schemes and things, putting guys in the right spots. But there again, it's just delivery and life or death in the penalty box. So, that to me is most of it.
Given Danny Musowski and how well he's done here since coming in, is Jordan an option on the wing perhaps to keep Danny on the field?
Maybe. I mean, Jordan, I think he wants to play number 9. I think he thinks that's his position. So that would take a little bit of cajoling. But, look, late in games, can we play with 2 forwards? Sure. And Jordan always liked to play in that left pocket. Maybe Musowski's more central. There's different ways you can skin that.
Speaking of, you talked about defense a little bit. How impressed or have you been by just Christian Roldan being able to carry his performance of the Club World Cup and put it into Austin and be just as good and effective as he was on both sides of the ball against Austin?
Can't remember first half, second half, at the time when we lost the ball up there, Paul or someone lost the ball up there. He sprints back and the slide tackle with the outside of his right foot. I mean, it's great. He kept his level high.
Jackson Reagan, I would assert, I'm not a coach, that this is the best that he's been playing in terms of decision. He had a couple of those passes that didn't kill you.
Yeah, well, in the first half, he gave one right to him.
Yeah.
So let's pump the brakes here a little bit. But he is awfully good at what he does best, which is see the field, start our attacks, find balls, breaking lines, all of that sort of stuff, what makes him an elite center back. But yeah, sometimes when you have that confidence and you take some risks, sometimes it comes back to bite you.
How do you channel that in terms of the confidence, but yet don't be too confident?
I'm not channeling anything. That's him. He is a confident kid by nature, quiet confidence, not the loudest, but you can tell when he's feeling good and finding passes, and then that's the easy thing to see, long, the ooh-ah passes, but some of the simple things he does, just playing one touch, 15 yards ahead of the play. Those are the moments that really open up games for us.
Brian, I can't.
Without making the foul, a couple times in a game, he'll come and make that tackle.
Yeah, he's press guy's pretty good, and I don't mind if he makes a foul at midfield, but closer to goal, he can still work on his defense.
Brian, I can't remember if you were asked this in the post-game conference, but I believe Stefan Fry got to 1,000 saves in his career, and your thoughts on that in general.
Just another checkbox. I mean, the guy's done it all. he's done it all, and we're happy to steal him from Toronto and have him finish his career with us.
This is a week late, but Memorial Stadium closed.
Yeah, I read it. A lot of iconic venue. Went there in 1974, 75. Played soccer there, high school, Nathan Hale. Rebirth of the Sounders. When I first took over, we played there. Lots of rain matches there. Soccer, football. I mean, it's been an iconic Seattle institution. But from the renderings I see, I think it's going to be pretty nice. And it probably was time for a redo. But
Brian, obviously no
guys.
Sounders there on the MLS All-Star game, but I want to focus on what your thoughts are on the event itself. Do you like MLS All-Star game? Would you do it any differently?
I don't know enough about what they got scheduled for this year, but in general, I think All-Star games are kind of part of the American sports scene, and they're exciting events. I like the home run derby, 3-point shooting. Football's got their skills stuff. I mean, we're doing some stuff. The ball. I think it's good entertainment.
Thanks, Coach.